Hey people, Intro here, Team Free for All, Faction Rumble. This is Siege of Rax, and the blue team is Chaos. Knight is a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive hero with powerful battlefield manipulation and control. Alongside, JoElusive is a Plague Champion, starts off with a damage over time bolt gun, can get melee weapons, some strong utility, and support, can also repair. The purple team is Tyranids. Daddy as a Lictor Alpha, a melee specialist, infiltrate and disrupt, some powerful offense and a bit of support. Alongside Ducks as a big stompy Hive Tyrant, a durable hero walking through objects, cannot be suppressed, with powerful offense, disruption and support, begins in melee with a basic synapse. I shall call you Francisco. The green team is Space Marines. Machine Elf as a force commander, very strong offense, fighting in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support. And rounding us off is Varscona with an Apothecary, support hero fighting in melee by default, begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura, fighting over a power gen on the western side. Each of these teams with a natural victory point, and there's contested ones around the edge, like right over there, with power supplies on them, and a contested victory point right in the center with no power supply on it. Tyranids are blob capping. Apothecary may go down in retreats. Is there enough firepower? 6 hit points. Gets away. And then these guys flee. The Sorcerer coming into melee, and CSM are full health. So that's why they fled, I guess. Sorcerer could have just tied up the attacks, and then the CSM shoot down the scouts. Triple Hormagaunts alongside Ducks. Daddy with single Termagant Brood. Double CSM for Knight, double CSM for JoElusive, and single tax up for the Space Marine players. Trying to get control of that power point. Tyranids ain't having it. They could decap this VP. There we go. This is one of the contested ones on the edge. Center one has not been picked up yet. Here's the natural for the blue Chaos team. Still kicking off on the west side. We saw Eternal War coming on these Chaos Space Marines here. Those Chaos insignias around weapons. 20% more damage, both melee and ranged combat. Really adds up, especially if you have double CSM and they're focusing down a relatively low health hero like an Apothecary. As a Sanguine Chainsaw to help him brawl and heal on hit, and Armor of Purity for more health regen, and a lower cooldown on that heal. Tyranids have taken the mid. Looks like they may be looking to go together against the Plague Champion, who's getting that VP back. This power they're trying to get back as well. Each team has 2 pretty defensible natural powers, actually. So you may see some fast tech games here. Noise Marines up for JoElusive. Nothing else up for the other players, apart from War Gear, of course. We see the Apothecary making use of that Sanguine Chainsword, slicing through some heretics. CSM coming into melee with those tactical Marines, popping their Kraken bolts there, which increases their damage versus heavy infantry. And yes, it does include melee attacks. Sniper scouts getting some decent shots on this Sorcerer. Apothecary doing such a good job brawling, is eventually persuaded to leave. Still level 1. Did some good work there. Scouts able to get some good burst damage shots on those CSM. Are they going to respond with Raptors? Or maybe the vestments of the warp for the Sorcerer to teleport in? Force Commander goes after some Hormagaunts. Hormagaunts are not attacking. There we go. What are they up to there? They woke up. Meanwhile, on the eastern edge, Lictor Alpha in amongst some Noise Marines. Hormagaunts getting messed up in melee. Looks like they're going to be alright. Big special there from the Lictor Alpha. Perfectly timed as those heretics came in. And they're able to retreat off, probably safely, up into the northeastern corner there. Plague Champion able to advance. What do you do with these guys? Do you go mid now? It's quite a foggy map, especially when I zoom out, although I am zooming out more than the game naturally allows you to, so bear that in mind when you see the fog. You're only meant to be at this range. Assault squad coming in for Varscona. More Noise Marines this time for Knight. Tier 2 for Daddy and Machine Elf. That's what I said about those fast techs on this map. Ducks also going tier 2. Did they even get adrenal glands? They didn't. They did get improved synapse, which made those Hormagaunts much more difficult to deal with if they're near the Hive Tyrant. There's some Zeechian infiltrating worship. Keep the Noise Marines separated. And if the Apothecary has to come in, they're going to get bounced around by Cacophony. Otherwise, yeah, Varscona kind of has to back off and wait for the Assault Squad. Here they are. So Assault Squad jumps the Noise Marines most likely. Heretics can counter-initiate. Sorcerer should try to get on the Tactical Marines. There's the Doom Bolts. Assault Squad starts it off. There's a Cacophony. Sorcerer got shot down. They're already quite low, I think. Couldn't get on the Marines. Assault Squad are dealt with. I think maybe they could have kept them in combat there, the Assault Squad. Worried about those Heretics coming in, I suppose. Noise Marines able to blast those Tactical Marines a bit. That Sonic Blaster shuts down ranged attacks. Apothecary now brawling with Heretics while getting shot to pieces. Not sure they can get away from here. Oh, maybe. Seems pretty easy, actually. I thought they were in real trouble. They judged it very, very well, actually. Assault Squad coming back out. So are the Tacs. Double CSM back away. Don't want them both to get jumped. And they kind of did. Sorcerer coming back now. Has no war gear. Might be worth getting... I think it's still worth getting the vestments of the warp to get on these Tacs quickly, because those Kraken bolts hurt. Or to get on these scouts quickly, because they're also doing that burst damage. Meanwhile, center of the map, the Noise Marines of JoElusive getting rid of the Force Commander. Tier 3 for Daddy already. Also Tier 3 for Ducks. These guys trying to take out the power supply, which will disable the victory point. You need to pay resources to get it fixed. Razorback of Machine Elf doing some good work. Those guys are becoming Stone God veterans. Here they are. First Company Marines that can change their ammo to combat all targets. There's the Hellfire acid rounds to shoot these Hormagaunts and deal damage over time, but they've got inside the Razorback. Crushing Claws, Hive Tyrant here. I'm going to try and get this VP. This is one of the contested edge ones. The damage over time does work on heroes as well. Francisco taking huge amounts of damage, getting into melee range there. And the Force Commander comes to some chainsword greeting. Persuades him to leave. They did get a decap, which was the whole point of that push, I guess, so it's successful. Meanwhile, back on the west side, the Assault Squad retreat. I think they got a heal on retreat there. That was weird. If they're safe, let them retreat and just heal up at base. Use the heal for the fight. Triple cap here for Chaos. We have seen Chaos do quite well in these team free-for-alls. They're good at big, messy fights, I suppose. Heretics with no upgrades here for JoElusive. It's a miracle they're alive. Venom Brood on the way for Ducks. And a Carnifex for Daddy. Dreadnought is on for Varscona, and Knight has no response whatsoever to this thing. So it could stomp its way through and get some power bashes done, I suppose. JoElusive also has no response to this, so they can't exactly ask for help. No anti-vehicle on the field from those guys. These guys are getting a Blast Master, which can technically damage vehicles. You wouldn't really consider it an anti-vehicle weapon, though. Might get a shot here. Nope, it went for the Tax. Got a decent hit on that one guy, though. Here's some Mark of Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines now. Huge anti-infantry damage, especially heavy and super heavy infantry, which is most of the Space Marine roster. So they need to be careful with that. I wonder if they're gonna go Assault Cannon for a barrage on those two squads. Carnifex, meanwhile, with a Stranglethorn Cannon, terrorizing these poor Heretics. They almost got one shot by it. They did get away somehow. A quad cap, though, for the Space Marines. They destroyed that VP. That is a contested one between the Chaos and the Tyranids. But they have their natural, this natural just to the east of it. Sorry, this contested one just to the east of it, and they have the central one. Venom Brood with a ranged synapse. Why? Why do they have a ranged synapse? They have no ranged troops to benefit from it. Very odd that they would spend on that. Especially when they're tier 3. Surely they want to spend power on big stomping monstrous creatures and stuff. Indecisive Stern Guard finally settling on Kraken Bolts, which are the most DPS against heroes and against heavy infantry. There we see the power supply getting rebuilt. On the west side, Dreadnought stomping its way through with that wrist-mounted flamer and big old melee attacks. Knight getting a Dreadnought of their own, a Chaos Dreadnought of course, and JoElusive already has one with Mark of Tzeentch. They're trying to go toe-to-toe with the Carnifex, I suppose. Well, not really toe-to-toe, weapon to weapon. Not sure that was a great idea. We'll see how it goes. Now a Plague Champion with a Plague Fist will help out. No idea why they used the Pestilent Strike there. Petted Armor also in. Looks like they're trying to steal this power by taking out the node. Plague Fist could do a lot of work for you here, so a lot of capping to do, I guess. Lictor Alpha being sneaky. Meanwhile, this power supply is being hit again. Grenade. Beautifully done against those Hormagaunts. But they do not stop their advance. Not sure what the Hive Tyrant's doing. Oh, he's going after the power supply. Vanguard Veterans for Machine Elf jumping in. First Company Assault Squad with power melee weapons, including a big old Thunderhammer in there. They get a Lightning Claw and a couple of power swords as well. Is Francisco going to make it out? I don't think so. Down he goes. Levels up those scouts. And they retain the VP. Can you repair this now? With a repair unit? Or do you have to pay when it blows up? Lictor Alpha trying to grab the mid. On the west side, it's a Mark of Tzeentch CSM, Mark of Tzeentch Dreadnought, sorry, for Knight as well with that anti-vehicle missile launcher. They should have, yeah, they need to go and tie it up in melee. There we go. Nope. Gives up. The Dreadnought's going to tie it up in melee. I'm not sure if that Space Marine Dreadnought's going to make it out of this. These guys are trying to get in a missile launcher. But yeah, that Chaos Dread can still hit hard in melee. And it hit hard enough to finish that thing off. So they played it well. Knight. Didn't overcommit when the Dreadnought was up until they got their own Dreadnought. We're fighting fiercely over that power. Lictor Alpha being sneaky. This power supply has a little bit of life left in it, so they're able to decap. Plague Champion had a bad time. Trying to fight a Thornback Carnifex was not going to work out for you. Are you guys going to become Death Spitters? Looks like they're getting Venom Broods up just to bash power supplies. Dux now has a Venom Cannon Carnifex, makes short work of the Razorback. Vanguard Veterans now have their Power Fist, and they are messing up the Venom Brood. Really messing them up. Vanguard Veterans, sorry, Sternguard Veterans with the Vengeance Rounds and the Missile Launch Attack Squad. Not sure if they can get this Carnifex though, it might be far enough away. Should be putting 40 Emperor on the Vanguard Veterans, I think, to finish it off. It might have been enough, you know. I think it would have been enough because they got it down so low. Now it's in base. It's going to start getting messed up by the base turrets. Missile launcher, can you get one more shot? It can't. They're trying to melee the Carnifex and it goes down. They meleeed it to death, I think. Committed hard to that Machine Elf and it was worth it. It was worth it in the end. They didn't lose anything. Just a few models here and there, and they're tier 3 in a good position to push quite hard against Dux now. Lock this down, maybe even harass their natural victory point here. And that would have the knock-on effect of causing Daddy to turn around and defend, and maybe lose ground to JoElusive, who's got another Chaos Dreadnought on the way. Here's the Chaos Dread of Knight, still happy and healthy. But I don't know how happy he is, to be honest. Another Carnifex on the way for Daddy. All that safe power income means many, many Carnifexes, I guess. There is a Predator tank on the field for Varscona, and Machine Elf now with Assault Terminators, unique to the Force Commander. And they can deal with anything if they have a little bit of support. Just a little bit of support. Librarian might be next for Machine Elf. They're not pushing. They blowed up the VP there. JoElusive grabbing this one. So it's a double cap for the blue Chaos team. Singles for the others. Big lead though for the Space Marines. Up to 1251 victory points. So only need 2,000. More than half the way there. Duck says getting a Swarm Lord. Dreadnought needs to be careful. Oh, those guys don't have a melter bomb. They're jumping in, but they don't have a melter bomb when they're going after the Blastmaster fellas. Tank giving chase. They had missile launch attacks there as well. It was enough to scare the Dreadnought off quite quickly, even if they didn't do that much damage. Now what? Do you rebuild this and try and hold it? In the mid, it's kicking off. Heretics fighting double Hormagaunts. That's not going to work out great for him. One of them breaks off to go for the Blastmaster. Mark of Khorne Dreadnought going berserk for JoElusive. That's the Blood Rage ability. Now it's worn off though. Oh, suddenly a tank. Space Marines grouping up. Dreadnought goes down. Didn't last very long. They championed, lost the indicator for them. That's a Tyrant formation. These guys should be able to shrug it off okay. Did a big chunk to that tank though, eh? A big chunk, and it's driving around taking more hits from the spires. Once you get hit by a spire, try and stay still because that location is not going to be hit again. Scouts and repair duty. Here come, oh, more Terminators this time for Varscona, and this time regular Terminators with combi bolters and power fists. Still powerful combatants as you would expect, and Cyclone missile launcher is on the way. Dux does have a Swarm Lord up. It's a single double on the caps. All you need is a single cap to accrue some victory points, of course. Well, there's subjugation. Subjugating the Terminators and teleporting them into all sorts of trouble. And they might get really messed up here. Those Chaos Terminators should be going into melee. There we go. Mark of Zinc CSM can pump out some DPS. They're trying to save them. Down goes the tank, though. Last Master does a bunch of friendly fire, which really messed them up, actually. They lost some of their CSM, didn't they? Big risk from the Terminators there to turn around and do that. Why would they do that? They need to run. Marco Zinc CSM, I think, are going to be messed up. Yep, they went down. Getting some stutters here for some reason. Can they finish him off? They can. A Doom Bolts gets it done. Big losses all round. But the Chaos Terminators survive. Apothecary level 5 now. Has Armor of Purity and the Sanguine Chainsword. Triple cap for Space Marines. What is this though? Assault Terminators fighting a Swarm Lord and triple Carnifex is here. Down go the Vanguard Veterans, I guess. Can they hold on? It's a hell of a lot of stuff to fight even for those guys. Had to teleport away. They only lost one model there though. Ducks with another Carnifex come in. There's no Librarian to save these guys and teleport them out. They should be fine though. The Hormagaunts can't put out enough damage quickly enough to take them out before they get to base. They're decapping the VP and bashing the supply. Okay. On the west side, double cap for Space Marines still really helping them out, but they're going to lose this VP, I think. Yeah. Auto cannon Terminators are going to rip through the scouts, and Apothecary is not going to be able to stop them. And some fresh Chaos Space Marines with Mark of Zinch. No, don't do it now. Trying to decap, fellas. Well, they really like some Zinch, I guess. Those Terminators should be in melee stance to smack that Apothecary around. Back over to the mid. There's a Nurgle Shrine. And something defying physics in the top left of your screen. Swarm Lord is super low, but it's got tons of support here. Takes out the Plague Champion. Tyranids very much swarming the mid. They just don't have the VPs. They have a double cap, but very far behind. Almost half the VPs of the Space Marines. Chaos are going to grab this. At least they're going to decap it. Yeah, I think they're going to take it outright. Chaos Dreadnoughts back here. Almost level 3. Varscona with another tank on the way. I actually think Vanguard Veterans would be good here. They still have the Assault Squad. They're level 3 though, they might not want to give up that level 3. Because you reset the level when you get one of those upgrades. Look at the Tyranids, there's loads of them. You can't miss them. Subjugated scouts of all things. Not sure what they were up to there. Terminators don't want to overextend and drop a model. Last Master missed fires. What is this? Tyranids on the warpath. Taking out another victory point of the Space Marines. Now they have a no cap. Got the Chaos fellas with a triple. Trying to get these Assault Terminators down. It's a lot of damage. You have some Death Spitter Venom Broods. Think they're going to get them. They get them. Can they sweep through the Chaos fellas now? Because they have... Oh, they have a 2-cap. They lost this one. Assault Squad able to decap. Double Marco Zinch shooting up the Apothecary. Didn't like it. This Predator's not going to last long with his Tyranids coming in with a flank. Down it goes. Lictor Alpha's got what? Corrosive Claws and Menacing Visage here. Tyrant formation to facilitate the push. They're going to just blow up the power supply again. Seems to be their game plan so far. Nope. They're pushing through onto the units. Still a triple cap for the Chaos fellas. Kieran is looking incredibly strong though. Another Carnifex on the way. They're going to have 5 Carnifexes and a Swarm Lord, not to mention those heroes. And the double Death Spitters and the Venom Brood. The DPS from double Death Spitters alone is pretty nuts. 26 per model, yeah. Nasty. It's more DPS than Marco Zinch CSM. You get one less model, of course, and you don't get that demonic plasma gun thing. It's another VP down. They also broke this one. This one's still blue for Chaos. Oh, this one's being taken as well. Level 5 Apothecary. We now have a Power Fist and Sacred Standard Force Commander. What's that latest Carnifex got? Nothing yet. We have Stranglethorn, Thornback, Stranglethorn for now. Oh, Swarmlord got very, very low. Might get picked off on its way back to safety there. Chaos Terminators need to teleport back out, surely. Oh, maybe they used their teleport already. There's a Psychic Scream. And Francisco runs away. Tyranids swarming everywhere right now. Did the Swarm Lord make it out? They're trying to. They are trying to. Surely the tank can finish it. Down it goes. And another Carnifex falls as well. Well, the first Carnifex falls. That was the one without an upgrade though, I think. Ducks can drop a nuke. JoElusive and Machine Elf can drop nukes. Knight can almost drop a nuke. So can Varscona drop a nuke. Might see a bunch of them at the end. Can they get this Carnifex? They can. Ducks just had a bad fight. I mean, they extended all the way across the map. Did a lot of work, but it was a very risky push. Thornback getting stuck in. Doing huge amounts of work. Almost level 4. 33 hit points on that guy. Now the Space Marines in control again with a triple cap and 1700 VPs. Varscona with another Predator. This one's done a good job for Machine Elf. Rod of Warp Fire. Oh, he's down on that Sorcerer there. More Chaos Terminators for Knight. Chaos Pred with Marco Zinch to try and shoot down the Carnifexes. Oh, these guys have claws. Awesome. Trying to hold the mid while also keeping an eye on this one, which is being bashed again. They're quite tough, the power supplies. Takes a while to get through them, but they're going to do it. Down it goes. Oh, but the Space Marines took the Western VP, so they still have a triple cap. Tank being overwhelmed, maybe. Tyrant formation comes in. Gormagons couldn't chase. The speed boost they get from the Tyrant formation. Looks like the tank is safe, maybe. Lictor Alpha decapped the mid meanwhile. Now everyone has a single. But the Space Marines are 400 ahead of the Chaos fellas. If the Tyranids stayed, like didn't push that far, and stayed on the east side and tried to get a quad cap held down with all those Carnifexes, maybe that would have been better. But if they did that, it might have allowed the Space Marines to get a triple cap on the other side, and then they would have had enough to stay in the lead, perhaps. JoElusive has maxed out their red here. Down goes that Predator tank. 1141 VPs for Tyranids. Can they catch up? Not sure if it's possible without a big swing. There is a nuke from JoElusive, just when I said they maxed out their red. Autocannon trying to get shots in. This Carnifex is surely not going to make it out. Why are you shooting over there, tank? It's really hard to target your tanks when they are moving. Can they get both of these? Possibly. Staying right here. Getting chased by a Plague Champion as well, which is helping out a little bit. Just spawn some Rippers. Tank needs to keep moving when that thing gets close. Oh, just turned around and bonked the Plague Champion on the head and he's dead. Back to the mid. Force Commander's fallen over. Was trying to get Artificer. That means Sacred Standard is doing even more inspirational buffing. Carnifex still here. Level 4 Thornback. How many shots has it tanked? Now the army of Venom Brood come in. Looks like 2 of them with Death Spitters, 2 of them with Venom Cannons. Runner formation. Decent hits in there. This does have a power supply. And they are going to try and cap it. The mid is purple for Tyranids. Also got Tyranids over here. Oh, Orbital. Space Marines have no VPs now. They're close to victory if they can get some. Capped. Land Raider Phobos on the way for Knight. That is a good hit with an Orbital. Because those Terminators can't retreat, so they can't mitigate damage here. Did they wipe? No. I don't think all of them were in the beams there. But they got messed up quite a lot. Are they going to repair this power supply now and try? Yep, it's being repaired. I assume that's the Space Marines repairing it, and they're going to try and take it back. Tyranids swarming the mid still. What level is this Lictor? Level 6 Lictor Alpha. Harassing Chaos is natural as well. Bashing power. Carnifex on the way for Ducks. There's the Land Raider Phobos. Able to get a few shots on the Terminators. I guess they've used their teleport already. Meanwhile, Apothecary be capping. Do you have an armor piece yet? Oh, I mean accessory? No accessory yet. Hey, more Assault Terminators. Just stay away from the Sorcerer, I guess. Although last time they just got chased down. Maybe they used the teleport offensively last time. They're going to turn and fight the Swarm Lord, are they? It's a lot of stuff, guys. Down goes the tank. I don't think this is a fight you should be taking, fellas. There we go. Teleporting out. I think it teleported them far enough. Shotgun scouts can maybe help a bit. Maybe chuck a cheeky grenade. There it is. Nicely done again by Machine Elf. We've seen a couple of those. Space Marines with a single cap. It just went from 2 to 1. Up over 1900 VPs though. Apothecary's down. Phobos chasing into base. Those Terminators are so low. But they survived those shots. How do they have 3 models? Lightning Claw Terminators and a Sorcerer capping here. Taking all the VPs away from the Space Marines. Can one of these other teams pull this off? Another Carnifex on the way for Daddy. What did this one get? This got a Stranglethorn. This is also getting Stranglethorn. JoElusive with a tank. Got tons of resources, JoElusive, including a bunch of red for another nuke. Big fight here. There's Psychic Scream. That's bad. That hit everything. Reducing its damage. Yeah, and with a Swarm Lord there, and that chunky Hive Tyrant with the Crushing Claws. It's a rough fight. They didn't drop a model on the Terminators though. What's this? That's the Phobos. Bashing power now. They took the VP, and they still have their natural. Oh, and they grabbed the mid. A quad cap for Chaos. Space Marines have a single though. Where is it? It's on the eastern side. That's the Tyranids natural that they took, look. Not sure what the Plague Champion's trying to do now. Oh, they're dropping a nuke on themselves. And they went down. They did mess up these Venom Broods though. This one barely got away. That single cap might be enough. It's being retaken. There we go. It's decapped. They're up to 1972 though. They're so close. Chaos are quickly charging ahead. Up over 1800 now. Another Carnifex on the way. How many Carnifexes have there been? Phobos in trouble. Missile launch attacks and Stern Guard veterans with vengeance rounds and assault terminators with hammers after it. Lightning Claw Chaos Terminators having a word. Mainly, can you die now? I think they're gone. Those attacks are gone. Assault Terminators tired of chasing. Now going to fight some Chaos Terminators. Steal the quad cap. Space Marines have the single. What single do they have? Oh, they don't have any more. They already got decapped. These guys are going for this VP, and they probably have the durability to take it. These Stern Guard trying to bravely decap. Lightning Claw Terminators are messing them up there. Chaos down to a single cap. Very, very close. Tyranids have the mid, and they have their natural. And these guys grab this. They can, and that's surely going to be enough for the Space Marines. Look how close it got. Now they have this single. Heroic Assault Terminators at the end there. And they get the cap, and they get the victory. That was so close. Awesome game. Had a level 5 Sorcerer. You had a level 5 Plague Champion. We had a level 6 Lictor Alpha and a level 4 Hive Tyrant. So many Carnifexes. Force Commander was level 5 and the Apothecary level 6. They were the best at the capping game, it has to be said, and that's what won them it. The Tyranids were so strong in their army at one point. Even at the end, they were pretty damn strong with 4 Carnifexes and a Swarm Lord. They went on a world tour of just bashing all the power supplies at one point, and they paid for it, trying to get out safely kind of thing. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm not sure who sent this in, but thanks to those fellas. I don't know if this was a planned faction rumble or it just came together like that, but it was awesome. I'll see you guys next time.